And the new look in this case is that we have this new lid. It's got some more form on it. There's a contrast between the black steel, powder coated steel, and the diamond plate. Typically our products would either be all diamond plate or all black powder coated steel. We started building this kind of idea, a tank within a shell of a toolbox, probably 5 years after we started business in 1983. So that would be roughly 1988. And that's been a very common mainstay. Many people have purchased our different variations over the years, and just in the last several years we came out with the all steel version instead of a separate aluminum shell with a separate tank inside. This is a computer controlled level line winder. So what we're doing is wrapping a helix of nichrome wire around the phenolic. We get a variable resistor, and all the windings are programmable. Years ago that was a machine that we took home. Actually it was a small rod with a handle attached with a vice grip, and you put it on a coffee table at home, and you had to bring back 25 the next day. So you'd wind this thing manually, and the next morning you better have 25 or we wouldn't have sending units. So extrude a piece of wire and put the forms in it repeatedly. Again, it's programmable. It works really well. Regulatory compliance is a huge component, and of course California Resource Board is one of the most challenging. The DOT is as well. Now Canada has their own regulations that we comply with as well. So depending what state, what country we're doing business with, will obviously meet those requirements. That we have to be safe, we have to be durable. So we're always looking to improve our product, making sure it'll outlive the vehicle, outlast the vehicle by far. So it's not uncommon that we'll see a customer call us 4 or 5 years after purchase, seeing if he can buy a kit to put his fuel system in his next vehicle. So he's selling the truck, selling the vehicle, but keeping his fuel system and transferring it to the next vehicle. We actually have customers that are on their 3rd vehicle with the same tank. We're looking at in-tank fuel pumps, but protection built in that will tell us if we're getting too warm inside the fuel tank. Kind of a special application. What this machine does is it extrudes wire. We have a program for each of our sending units we can call up. It'll extrude the wire at the right time for the right length with the right gaps and the right pauses, so the employee can stop according to the blueprint, tape up the part at the right locations, make allowances for the breakouts. And when the whole thing finishes up, maybe it's like 10 feet long, 12 feet long, it'll be the same length as the last one. It'll be repeatable, it'll be accurate, it'll match the mechanical drawing we're using. So this has been a great boon. In addition, we're not encouraging a lot of repetitive motion with the hand tools.
Chico State again?
In fact, the engineer that worked on it from Chico State is now a part-time engineer working for us. So it's turned into another opportunity.
Are these mostly BSMEs?
Most of these are mechanical engineers, a couple electricals, some mechatronics. Good idea for the students to see a real-world project that is actually going to be used in an environment where they might work someday. And they hit real-world challenges like budgets and time fences. Some ideas work rather well on paper and maybe not so hot when they actually get out into reality, and they got to modify and deal with those kind of problems. So it's a neat learning experience for everyone involved. So Scott's working on a process right now where we're inserting plastic fittings into the end of the fuel injection hose. And it's a fairly stiff hose, and we don't want to just push it with our wrists and try to get it in there by sheer force. What we want to do is create as much of the seals as the connections as possible to gear transfer probe, put them in the kit as a component that doesn't require any gear clamp on it or any hopefully any threading. So when the customer gets it, there's very little chance of a leak. We don't want to turn on a check engine light because or maybe a gear clamp didn't get tightened in a shop somewhere. And in 2008, we added 15,000 square feet to the north, and that was to contain our inventory, our built-in finished inventory of fuel tanks, kits, and other assembled items. And this is also the juncture for our solar array. So we have this north half of the building sheeted with solar panels. So